Hello, Professor. My name is Jenny Lopez, and this is my Lab 5, Axial and Appendicular Skeleton. The purpose of the lab is to explore the human skeletal system by identifying the axial and the appendicular skeleton. We will also discuss a common bone disease and its effects on bone structure and function. Let's get started. Here is the interior skull. Has the nasal, the lacrimal, the ethmoid, the sphenoid, the vomer, the frontal, the zygomatic, the maxilla, and the mandible. The posterior skull has the parietal bone, the occipital bone, the mandible, and the temporal bone. The lateral skull has the frontal lobe, the ethmoid, the lacrimal, the nasal, the zygomatic, the maxilla, the mandible, the parietal, the occipital, and the temporal. The inferior skull, the frontal bone, temporal bone, the ethmoid bone, the sphenoid bone, the parietal bone, and the occipital bone. The vertebral column is the atlas, the axis, the cervical vertebrae, the thoracic, the lumbar, the sacrum, and the coccyx. The thoracic cage has the true ribs, 1 through 7, false ribs, 8 through 10, the floating ribs, 11 through 12, the manubrium, and the body of the sternum. The pectoral girdle and upper limbs, the clavicle. Oh shoot, sorry. The clavicle, Jesus. Okay. So here we have the pectoral girdle and upper limbs, sorry. The clavicle, the scapula, the humerus, the ulna, and the radius. The hand and wrist, the lunate, the tracheium, pisiform, hamate, the scaphoid, decapitate, trapezoid, trapezium, the metacarpal bones, phalanges, and the sesamoid bone. For the pelvic and girdle lower limbs, the ilium, the pubic, the ischium, the femur, the patella, the tibia, and the fibula. For the ankle and foot, the talus, the navicular, the intermediate cuneiform, the medial cuneiform, phalanges, metatarsals, the lateral cuneiform, cuboid, and the calcaneus. Osteoporosis is a bone disease that weakens bones and making them fragile and more likely to break. It occurs when the body loses too much bone and doesn't make enough or both. This condition is more common in adults, especially in menopausal women, due to lower estrogen levels that accelerate bone loss. People that don't get enough calcium and vitamin D and don't exercise regularly or have a family history of osteoporosis are also at a higher risk. As bones become thinner and more porous, fractures can happen easily. These can lead to chronic pain, posture changes like a hunchback, and difficult in moving around. To protect your bone and health, it's important to consume enough vitamin D and stay active. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.